boy, I'm probably gonna tick some people off today. I already hear y'all in the comments going off. Hey Jelly Beans, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here or you didn't know already, my name is Tarrah and thank you so much for being here. And if you like commentary deep dives and you like my vibe and want to subscribe and join the Jelly Bean tribe, that would be awesome. I messed up my own intro. And don't forget to hit the notification bell down below so you don't miss out on any of my new uploads. How is everybody doing today? I have actually been pretty productive today, getting myself back into the swing of things. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? It's been quite a rough past 2 weeks for me, but that's another video for another day, I guess. Today, my wonderful Jelly Beans and people who are just joining, we are going to be discussing my personal unpopular opinions. And once again, these are my opinions. Again, my opinions on YouTubers. And specifically infamous YouTubers. Like, not infamous for the right reason YouTubers. A lot of these YouTubers that I'm going to mention, I'm sure y'all, one of y'all, maybe all y'all don't like for one reason or another. But I really want y'all to just be open-minded. And of course, I would love to hear your unpopular opinions about any YouTubers you can think of, or just your unpopular opinions about truly anything, because I love having a discussion. And please don't send anyone I mention any hate, of course. And also be respectful in the comments. If somebody's coming for your fave, let it go. It's just a discussion. It's fun. It's a chit chat. I know that most of y'all are used to more longer form content from me, but I'm trying to make some more shorter form content as well. If you hear some yawning in the background, my kids are sleeping in the bed up here in the filming room. So that was a long enough intro, I think. Anything else I can think of? Oh, I have memberships open now. You can join down below with the link. Also check out my other social medias. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I do have quite a few YouTubers and subcategories, niches as they call them, on this list. Okay, we are going to talk about Social Repose, Onion Boy Without a Crystal Ball. We got Lily Jean in here. We got family vloggers in here. We got Amberlynn Reed, Foodie Beauty, Hater Nation. We have fashion channels, Pedo Hunter channels is what I call them, true crime channels, all that jazz. And again, I have some very unpopular opinions. So take it, leave it. I'd love to know if you guys agree with me or disagree with me, as always. All right, first things first, Social Repose.
Stop, family mothlings of the whisper. Sup, fam?
Now, some of y'all are probably going to call me a fangirl for this when it comes to Social Repose, but I feel like Social Repose is one of the most creative, artistic people on this platform. His music is really well done. Some of his covers to popular music, in my opinion, are better than the originals. A lot of people don't like him because of him cheating on Jaclyn Glenn, right? And I'm a fan. I follow Jaclyn Glenn and I like her content as well. And I was following during the whole saga of their relationship, the ending of their relationship. I'm sure we all remember that, right? He recently made a video basically coming out and saying, like, y'all need to stop. Every single day I'm reminded about how I'm a cheater, how this and that happened between me and Jaclyn. Jaclyn has moved on with her life. She's having a baby. She's married. Stop. And Jaclyn took that as him once again bringing her up for views, and she responded back and forth it went once again. I actually completely understand where Richie is coming from in this case, because it ruined his career, him being a cheater, right? And he was a young... maybe I'm making excuses, but he was a young musician touring the world with fame, money, clout, whatever you want to call it, probably with an immense ego, right? And he has been open and honest about how crappy of a person he was and is, and how he's been trying to work on it over the last few years. There was another girl who came forward and made a YouTube video, and she said that he cheated on her as well. So he's a cheater, right? Okay, he's a cheater. We get it. He's a cheater. And I'm sure most of his following was young girls. I still follow Richie, again, because I think he is a very creative person. I've been to one of his concerts, and I just think that he gets more hate than he deserves. That's my opinion. Again, my opinions, right?
Editing Tarrah here. I also want to say too that, like, on Social Repose's TikTok,
if you look in the comments, people call him a P word. They say that he grooms children. Like, so many people, I think, confuse him for Onision. And I couldn't imagine dealing with that on a day-to-day basis, where people think you've done all these awful things when in reality, all you've done is cheat. Which, I mean, cheating is awful, don't get me wrong, but like, cheating is not the same as being a P word or grooming children. Don't mind Vincent's getting mad at the kittens. Another reason why he gets a lot of hate is his, like, headdress thing. People think that he is trying to steal from and appropriate Native culture. He has always said from the beginning that his headdress was never supposed to represent a Native headdress, traditional headdress, and that he specifically went out of his way to make it not look like a Native headdress. He has actually modified the headdress more recently because of people attacking him for it, and I have even asked him about his headdress, and he was open and honest with me about it, and I feel like he's always been very open and honest about talking about it. I remember, do y'all remember back in the day, this is how I found Social Repose, was him and Eugenia Cooney did a collab where they did this twerking contest in a hotel. Oh my gosh, emo days. I miss the emo days on YouTube. What happened to YouTube? But I have seen people compare Social Repose to Onision, calling him Onision Light or Onision 2.0. How can you compare those two? They're non-comparable in my opinion. We'll get to my opinions on Onision very shortly. But if I had to put Social Repose and Onision in a room, again, call me biased, I would 1000% choose Social Repose over Onision. That's just the way I feel about it. And I feel like there needs to be like some kind of redemption arc for Social Repose because, again, he truly is creative. He thinks outside the box. I feel like he really played into the drama of the internet and he realized like what things he made would get views and garner views, and I feel like more recently, especially the last year, he's really went back to his creative self and truly is making content that he likes and is passionate about and not really caring about numbers. I also want to say that I do see him thriving on TikTok and I'm so happy for him because I do believe that he deserves success. I truly believe that. And yeah, he may have garbage tendencies by being a cheater or whatever, but that, in my opinion, does not make it so that you are compared to Onision. That is not equivalent to being the next Onision. That is not equivalent to having your career completely destroyed because you cheated on some women. Most musicians that y'all love out there, most famous people, celebrities that y'all love are cheaters. Like, most of them are, right? And I feel like if he was a woman who did this, oh no, I can't say that because if he was a woman, she probably would have gotten treated worse than he actually did, to be honest, because people treat women like crap. I think the way he handled the breakup with Jacqueline Glenn definitely played a part into why people canceled him, quote unquote. But again, I feel like he deserves a redemption arc. I would love to know how y'all feel. Love or hate Social Repose? Why? If you were a fan, why are you not a fan? Do you still watch his content? Would love to know. Alright, next up is true crime channels. Now I will say true crime channels are something that I used to heavily watch. I still watch every now and again Stephanie Harlow. I used to love Kendall Rae and follow her, and then there was like some drama with her trying to have her following buy a house allegedly for her, pay for her house being built allegedly a couple years ago, and I even left a rude ass comment. Oh, the one time I left a hate comment. Oh my gosh. You know, I never deleted it either. It's still out there in the abyss. But you know, we've all done it. I was in a bad place. I was in a dark place. But really, I truly was just not good mentally, and I was mad because I'm like, I loved Kendall Rae, and here she is trying to use her following. Because, you know, T-Channel's had a field day with that. Anywho, what I'm trying to say is true crime channels. I don't think all of them are bad, and I feel like my mind has changed about them more recently because a lot of y'all know, a lot of y'all jelly beans know, a friend of mine was murdered and her body was cut into pieces and her murder is still unsolved. I will leave the Facebook group down below that is for her. It's Justice for Trish Haynes, again on Facebook. I will link it down below in the description box. Please go follow it. Please spread the message. I want to say, ever since then, I think I look at true crime channels a little bit differently. Like, I always wondered why I couldn't get down with Bailey Serene's content, and I think it's because of the mix of makeup and true crime, right? And I think when you have a situation where you deal with something like a friend or a family member going through such a horrific thing, right? You start to look at this type of content differently. And I've also realized that a lot of these true crime channels, they basically watch an episode of the ID channel and then they copy it pretty much word to word. I'm not saying all of them do this. I'm just saying there are a lot of them that do this. And they're not connected to the case, which is why I love Stephanie Harlow, because I feel like she really does put a lot of effort into her videos. And she does thorough research. She talks about the victims. She makes it more focused about the victims, that kind of jazz, right? But you have a lot of these channels that, in my opinion, don't really care. They're kind of just doing it because they know it'll get them views. I get, like, views or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's a person behind that case. There is a victim. That victim had a story. That victim was a real person. I just can't watch true crime content the way that I used to. I especially, for me anyways, don't like when it's mixed with like makeup or anything like that, because I feel it takes away from it. Again, this is just my opinion. I don't hate like Bailey Serene or anything like that. I've actually, one of you jelly beans let me know that she started a podcast where she's kind of gone a different direction, and I'm actually really intrigued to listen to her podcast. And I know so many of y'all love Bailey Serene. I just think that it's because of my own personal stuff of why I can't get down with the get down when it comes to makeup and mystery. I have had so many people, when I was looking for ideas for content, ask me to do true crime content. And I can tell you, unless it's to talk about my friend's case with her family's permission, of course, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, I would love to know how y'all feel about true crime. I know there's a lot of people that actually don't support true crime content at all. I've seen some channels recently kind of switch their content completely, and they're doing like drama in true crime, or again, the makeup in true crime. To me, I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's nothing personal towards anybody or anything like that. It's just something I just cannot get down with the get down on. All right, next up is the pedo hunters, as I call them. So people that mainly just cover content around like Davi Vanity, Onion, anything that's going to any SA type of stuff, right? I don't understand how making that type of content could be healthy for one person. I have seen a lot of these content creators get slack for constantly exploiting people's stories, and I kind of have to agree. It kind of falls under the Chris Hansen of it all, right? So people gave Chris Hansen so much crap for interviewing survivors and getting people in vulnerable states and all that jazz, but they allow so many other content creators to do this. And I'm all about spreading the message and trying to get a story out there, like Sloan. I like Sloan a lot, but I also have issues with some of the way he does his content as well. But I still watch his content. I watch almost all of his videos, because that's the thing. You can like not agree with some things that creators do, but you can still enjoy their content, right? You don't always have to agree with the creators that you watch or the way that they do things. So some of these pedo hunters that I call them, and Sloan doesn't just talk about like predators or anything like that. He talks about all types of stuff. But there are channels that are literally dedicated to like almost like QAnon type content, or again about like celebrities being accused of SA and all this jazz. And I just don't feel that a lot of them are genuine about why they're doing that work. The way they push out content, the way they recycle the same material, the way that there's really no effort put into it, or they interview these survivors and get them in such vulnerable states, is just really weird and off to me. They befriend some of these survivors, so it makes it easier for other survivors to trust them, so that way they can get first dibs on an interview. Something just, again, in my gut doesn't sit right with me. But I would love to know how y'all feel about that one, because I know there's a lot of people, like, I like Pastel Belle, but I know a lot of people find her phony baloney. And then, like, Repzilla, I find him phony baloney. Like, I guess I'm calling some people out today. That's what this is. This is literally just me, like, dragging people through the mud and calling them out, I guess. Sorry. I'm sure one day people will have me on this list of their unpopular opinions about YouTubers, right? So, I mean, it is what it is. On the whole thing of pedo hunters, Edwin's generation.
So as you guys know, I typically do videos on some pretty heavy topics, which is part of the reason why they take so long, you know, not just because of the amount of work, but the subject matter can take a toll on me. And of course, you know, once they're released, it doesn't help when people get all salty or start being hateful, but I'm not saying this for sympathy or that was part of any sort of reason why I was away. That is something that I'm used to, you know, it's part of the territory. I've been doing this for a while, I get that.
Now, if you're new to my channel, this one will be a shocker to you probably, but if you're not new and you've been here for a little bit, jelly beans, this is not a shocker to you. Edwin's generation to me is one of the most phony baloney people I've ever seen on this platform. My opinion, once again, I have a few videos on Edwin. I will try to remember to link them down below. If not, then you can just type in my name in Edwin's generation, it will pop up. So I started off as like a true supporter of Edwin's generation. I have hardly ever super chatted YouTubers, and I have super chatted him like $50 at a time before, because I truly believed that the content he was making, especially when he was covering like Onion, Davi, doing these long live streams, I thought truly he was for the cause and he was trying to make change and use his platform for good. I found him back when he kind of exposed the whole Dasha Seer situation. And I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to the Dasha Seer situation, now that I know what I know about Edwin, I feel like there's more to that story. And yes, I believe that Dasha and Seer did some shady stuff, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like there's more than what Edwin and Mia, is that what her name is, his girlfriend, have put out there. And I really feel like Edwin, in my opinion, plays the perpetual victim card. He has freaked out on Jacqueline Glenn just for Jacqueline Glenn giving him valid criticism. He has struck channels and copyrighted content just because channels have put out stuff about him that he doesn't want out there. He never takes full accountability. And how I started realizing Edwin's true colors is when I would watch these long live streams, because again, I was a fan of his content, right? I was a fan of his cause. So I would watch these long, massive live streams thinking that I was, you know, I was there helping, I was cheering on, right? I'm a silent supporter. That's why I always say thank you, my silent supporters in the live streams, because y'all mean a lot too. You're there, you're watching, right? So I was a silent supporter besides the super chats, and I really started over time, probably the 3rd to 5th live stream watching Edwin, especially when he drank, that he changed, right? And they always say, what is it? What is that line they always say about people that drink? Like, they end up telling like everything, right? Their true colors come out, right? And I started seeing Edwin's true colors come out. He was saying derogatory things towards women. He just was not the same person I saw in his videos that was like trying to be the voice for survivors and trying to stop Chris Hansen, and you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? It just really, I always say, if you love a creator, you stand them, you want to support them, and you care about who you support truly, watch their live streams. Unedited live streams while they're live, because what Edwin would do is he would edit his live streams and then re-upload them and take out the parts that made him look bad, right? If you watch a YouTuber's live stream, especially if they're drinking, it starts to come out. That like facade that they can put on camera and edit this way and that way, it fades. The mask is lifted almost, right? So I truly started to just see a different side of him, and then the infamous New Year's Eve hacking happened, which I have a whole video on that, and that was like my final straw with him. That's where I was just like so grossed out, couldn't stand it. Again, he's never taken full accountability. Every time he says that he wants people to call in, so they can give him constructive criticism, or anytime anyone in the chat tries to give him constructive criticism or disagrees with them, he calls them names. He's very passive aggressive, which I'm passive aggressive too. I get you, dude. Like I'm the same way, right? But the content that he's made in the past is very ew and icky, but yet he acted like he never knew Shane Dawson's past, but yet he was a super fan of Shane Dawson. Just, it doesn't add up, right? So that is just my feelings on Edwin. I know a lot of people love Edwin's generation. That's cool. You can like him, and I cannot like him and not support him. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. Next up, we have Onision. Oh, I'm going to make so many people upset with me with this one. If you are new here, or you didn't know, or you've recently joined the Jelly Bean Nation, I actually reviewed the whole first season of the Onision documentary on the Discovery app, and I really talked about a lot of my opinions in those videos, so I will try to remember to link the playlist. If not, again, you can look at my playlist, it's there, or just type Tarrah Onision. I want to start off by saying, when it comes to Onision, I don't think that he's a very good person. I think he's a major control freak, God complex. He definitely is immature, in my opinion, emotionally especially. In my opinion, blurs the line between reality and the internet, blurs the lines between a character and the real person. But, with that being said, I truly think that a lot of what people have said about him on the internet is false. And I think a lot of people used his name for views, for clicks, and I feel like a lot of the survivors that have come forward or whatever were just toxic relationships where both parties were toxic, and it created this like thing, right? And because it was all done on the internet, people grabbed at it and people had different conspiracy theories and all that jazz. Now, I will say there was a police report done, and it came out that there was no crimes committed by Onision. I want to clarify really quickly here with the police report thing and Onision being founded of not doing anything, being innocent. I also understand the fact that just because somebody is found innocent of a crime, especially like an essay crime or a crime, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are innocent, because I myself have gone to court before for an essay crime and the person was found innocent, and I can tell you wholeheartedly that they were not innocent of any crime that they were there for. So I do also know that. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't think that it was right for the whole Sarah situation, which I get into, but I also think there's more to this story than what we have been told on the internet. So where does that make all the content? Where does all the content where people called him the P word and, you know, like, imagine his children having to live with the fact that their father's name has been spread all over the internet of him being someone who likes children, right? Children. What? And all these people have made all this content about him, and it's still up. It is still up. And there's people saying, well, I mean, Onision can email somebody saying, please take this content down. This is not true. I do not like children. Blase, blase. I'm being vague because of YouTube. And what do these people do? Instead of taking the content down because he's right, they make whole ass videos and just sit there and bash him the entire time and make fun of him. How mature are we, right? Like, how mature are we? I don't agree that Kai and Onision took Sarah in when she was a minor, but I can also see the other side of things where if Sarah was calling them and saying, I'm in danger, I'm doing this, you know, this is going on, that's going on, and Onision, God complex, he wants to look like the savior on the internet, right? And Kai, I think Kai is probably more involved than Onision in a lot of this, to be honest with you. And I think Onision took a lot of the fall when it came to a lot of things, because I feel like Kai was like the main person, but that's neither here nor there. But so they took Sarah, right? Nothing happens until they were 18 with Onision, with Sarah. Kai, there's been some accusations, right? And a lot of people were like, oh, well, it's grooming, that could be, that could totally be. But you know what I think it was? I think it was a lot of toxicity all the way around, and it just imploded. And I think that there are lies on Sarah's end, and I think there are lies on Onision and Kai's side as well. I just don't think that it was worth a whole documentary on Discovery. I don't think it was worth it. I'm going to be honest, though. I have not watched season 2, where I guess Sarah appears or whatever. I do think that Discovery was disgusting, and Chris Hansen was disgusting for having Shiloh basically tell Sarah's story in season 1. Again, I made multiple videos on the Onision season 1 documentary. But yeah, I don't think Onision will ever be able to come back from everything he went through, and I honestly don't know if he should come back from it. I feel like he's doing fine on Only Friends. Is that what we call it now? Can we say Only? We'll say Only Friends. I feel like he's doing fine on Only Friends. I feel so bad for his children, to be honest. And he definitely needed to have some type of accountability. Like, he needed to hold and, like, show some type of accountability. If you really look at the evidence that Onion Boy has in regards to Sarah, what the heck is her name now? Why am I forgetting her name? Shiloh. I truly think Greg, Jackson, whatever his freaking name is, he has more evidence than any of those people have been able to show us. That's scary, y'all. I believe that Shiloh's relationship with Greg was 100% a toxic relationship. I think Sarah and Onision and Kai, that was just, in my opinion, unacceptable. It shouldn't have happened. But when it came to Shiloh and with Greg, whatever his name is now, unhealthy relationship. That's what it was. Toxic, unhealthy relationship. They both messed up. It wasn't just one, it wasn't just the other. They both messed up, right? But we want to look at it as, well, Greg is the man, and she was a woman, she was a little bit younger, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I know I'm going to get some people and, mad and some flack for that opinion, but that's my opinion, to be honest with you. All right, next up is Lily Jean.
Hello, Genies. Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? Let me know down below.
Why do y'all hate Lily Jean so much? Most of y'all started hating Lily Jean when she was just a minor, and it was her mama pulling the puppet strings. Most of the people I've talked about, I feel like y'all know who they are, right? But with Lily Jean, some of y'all might not know who they are. Creepshow Art did a video on them. Primic did a very popular video on Lily Jean. The thing was, she was a minor when all y'all were making these videos on her, right? And again, her mama was pulling those puppet strings, right? Her mother, in my opinion, Lily Jean, is one of the most toxic people I have ever seen. And a lot of people accuse Lily Jean of buying followers and her platform being fake on Instagram. I will link Primic's video down below because it's actually pretty well done, in my opinion. But again, all of these people that advocate for not talking badly about minors, for child safety, all this jazz, attack Lily Jean. Lily Jean has said some really racial and sensitive things, but not trying to make excuses for her. You look at her mother, Lore, right? Lore isn't the most stable person, in my opinion. So if Lily has been raised by Lore, okay, she wants to appease her mother. She, as I know, even with my mother being a very hard person to grow up with, I dealt with a lot of trauma, but this isn't about me. I still wanted to make my mother happy. I still wanted to appease her. I still wanted her to love me. I still wanted to make her proud, right? I still wanted to say and do things, right? Not to mention all the brainwashing, all the manipulation tactics I was taught, all the deceiving and the conniving that I was taught, the morals I was taught, right? it's not easy to untrain those things. So a lot of y'all that attack Lily Jean are not taking into consideration that she was a literal minor when people started attacking her, okay? And maybe social media and making content made her feel good about herself for once, right? Because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And to be honest, I actually like Lily Jean's beauty content. It gives me ASMR, and I freaking love it. I watch almost all of her makeup videos and skincare videos. There is something how she does up that I freaking love. And I have no shame in saying it. I will scream it from the rooftops. I love Lily Jean's makeup videos. They give me ASMR. And I'm okay with that. I feel like Lily Jean, I wish I could remember the creator who made this video. But she basically went undercover and like posed as like a magazine person or something like that who wanted to interview Lily Jean about bullying or something like that. It was a great, fantastic video. If you search Lily Jean, I'm sure you could find it on YouTube. But she ended up having a lot of talks with Lore, Lily Jean's mom. And even the lady said, like, Lily Jean probably could have a really great, promising career on social media because she's not that bad at makeup. She has a really great presence on camera. She's very bubbly and personable, right? It's her mother. Her mother is the one who is so toxic. Her mother is the one faking all these accounts and probably buying bots on Lily Jean's expense, right? Have y'all never ever heard of the Gypsy Blanchard case? I mean, it's a lot of that kind of stuff, right? I'm not trying to like accuse anybody of anything, but when you think of that case and like toxic mothers, and I know what it feels like to have a toxic mother, right? Especially if you feel like you have no way out. And Lily seems to love her mother deeply. So Lily could be blinded to a lot of this toxicity and think that this is her norm. Like, this is all normal. Just like I did growing up. I thought everything was normal until I stepped outside and realized that's not normal behavior, right? And it takes years and years and years to untrain those behaviors. So I say give Lily Jean a chance, y'all. Her mother is her manager, okay? Her manager. She gotta get away from her mother, in my opinion, but that's just me. And I've literally seen creators that talk about Lily Jean be like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about Lily Jean. You know why I'm gonna talk about Lily Jean? Because I want that money. Not taking into consideration, this girl has literally had death threats. She's had people show up. She's had people show up to her house. She has had to file police reports, which she showed proof of. I still have the screenshots. If I gotta dig them out, I'll dig them out, right? Yeah, she may have faked that she went to Vogue or she was on the cover of Vogue or whatever, but that's stuff children do. They fantasize, right? Lily Jean is very childlike. She loves Disney, loves cosplay, and not saying that if you like cosplay, you're childlike, but there is nothing wrong with being childlike either. But what I'm saying is she just seems like she's very innocent. I don't know if innocent is the right word, but you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I don't know. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Lily Jean. I think we made it. Nope, we got 2 more and then we'll get into Without a Crystal Ball. All right, family channels, family vlog channels. I want to talk really briefly about these channels. I personally do not agree with filming your children without their consent, and I don't think a child under the age of at least 13 can fully consent to being filmed. I feel like a lot of us parents don't even understand at first what we are putting out there for our children. Like I always say when I'm trying to explain this to people, you know, when you go to meet, you know, a partner's family for the first time and they pull out your partner's baby book. I actually don't have a baby book because I don't have any pictures of me. I have one picture of me when I was like 5 until I was like 11, and that's it. But anyways, so you know when you go to meet a partner and their family pulls out their baby book and then you're looking at those cute pictures or whatever and like the embarrassing ones and they're like, oh, don't do that, blah, 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 blah. Imagine your baby book from the time you are out of the womb, okay, being all over the internet. Could you imagine? That is our children in this world that we live in now. So imagine a child of a YouTuber or an influencer of any sort, Instagram or whatever, imagine what they're going to go through once they start getting into school and they, you know, all their private moments are on camera. Like, from the time that they are born, they are monetized, right? To me, that is so scary. And I made the mistake when I first started making content of vlogging my family because I didn't understand or comprehend their privacy or their consent, right? I didn't look at the long-term effects that it could have for them, the bullying they could go through, or any of that jazz, right? Or just, sad to say, but the weirdos out there on the internet that could consume this content for the wrong reasons, because children are innocent, right? But there are weirdos out there. I feel like a lot of family vlog channels do exploit their children. I don't think it's right. I personally never made my children like refilm anything or told my children to do this or that, right? But a lot of these bigger vlog channels do, and they blur the line between reality and, you know, the camera. And to me, that's very unhealthy for their mental health, which I feel like we don't talk enough about children's mental health. That's like a whole other tangent. Maybe I'll make a video on that because I have very strong opinions about children's mental health, especially during these times. But I really feel like we're going to start to see the effect of children, you know, vloggers and family vloggers' children in the next like 10 years. And I feel like it's going to be a lot like the child stars of Hollywood and how, you know, they kind of went down this spiral, right? But with that being said, I also feel like it really isn't our business. Okay? It's not our business. What I'm also meaning by saying that this isn't our business is that, like, if you feel really passionate about children not being on YouTube and not being exploited by these family vlog channels, start petitions, start trying to make a change for the laws in regards to children on YouTube. Like, these are all things that people with platforms, and there are some massive people that have huge platforms that talk about family vlog channels, that make commentary on family vlog channels. Why are they not starting petitions? Why are they not trying to make change for these children on these family vlog channels in regards to YouTube? That's what I'm trying to say when I say, like, it's not our business. Because obviously in the commentary community, like, we make everything our business, don't we? So it's kind of hypocritical for me to say, even though I feel like we're all hypocrites. I need a t-shirt that says we are all hypocrites, because we are. Everybody, for the most part that I know, takes pictures of their children or video and they post it online. They may not do it to a YouTube vlogger or influencer, you know, tier, or like they may not do it to that extent, but they do it, right? I know my Facebook is private, but at the same time, you never know who is a weirdo, right? It could be the guy at church. It could be the custodian. It could be the woman that mows your lawn every week. You never know who that weirdo is. It could be that only 100 friends you have looking at pictures of your kids, one of those 100 people, right? Or it could be a weirdo on the internet of one of a million followers you have. I do feel like a lot of these family vloggers should have, like, there should be more laws set in place for children that film content or that are a part of family channels or that have their own channels and what have you, because it's not just family vloggers. Like, my kids watch YouTube, right? So I can think of at least half a dozen channels. Yes, Kyle? Peace sign. Yes, they're both in the bed. You're going to have to move one of them.
Why?
Because when I go to bed, I'm going to have nowhere to sleep.
Well, I'm going to bed.
Well, you're going to have to move one of them then.
Right now?
Well, I don't want to have to try to move one. If you look at the content that my kids are consuming, because I'm very mindful of what and who my kids are consuming on YouTube or just on the internet in general, apps, all that jazz, right? A lot of these channels that are watching are kid channels, or they're like studios that hire child actors and like fake moms, and they like do skits or what have you. That's what children are watching, is other children, or they're watching like those adult weird reaction videos or gamer videos. But they watch a lot of child content. So it's not just family vlog channels that are exploiting children, in my opinion. It's a lot of the child industry that does like child acting or anything like that. So I feel like there should be a lot more laws, labor laws, money-wise laws, things of that nature in place for children that create content on YouTube. Because right now we really don't have that. Not that I know of. I looked and looked and looked before and could not find anything. And you know, my children, one's 8, one's about to be 6. They have watched me do this for almost 5 years, creating content. They love YouTube. They ask me all the time to be in videos, and they don't comprehend, again, how it will affect them in the long term. What you put out on the internet is forever. So I feel like with these family vloggers and stuff, they can say, oh yeah, my kid loves filming content. Yeah, they may write meow, but that doesn't mean they're gonna like it when they get into high school, or when they go to apply for a job, or when they go to start dating. And then, you know, everything that they've ever done is on the internet. Their whole birth is on the internet, right? I do think that there are good and bad family vlog channels. I do think that there are family vlog channels like the Ace family that do it in, or like the Stoffers that do it in a very predatory way. And I think that there are family vlog channels that try to do it in the most respectful way as possible. They don't make it their kids aren't the main focus and all that jazz, which I will say it's very hard to vlog when you have children without getting them, at least some part of them in the vlog, because I vlog for my membership, and it's very hard when you're a parent to try to vlog without catching at least the back of their head or something like that, which I always try to make sure I don't show their face if I can. Sometimes it happens, but you know, again, like I was saying earlier, it's kind of not our business, right? Because to an extent, it's kind of mom shaming, because you're saying, you know, that's your kid, but you can't do this, or your parenting method is wrong, or this is wrong. And I'm not down for mom shaming. That's just me. But I would love to know your opinions on family vlog channels. I know a lot of people consume family vlog channel content. A lot of kids love family vlog channel content. But again, I don't think it's just family vlog channels. I think it's any content that has kids in it as in general is problematic in its own way, if that makes sense. All right, next up is Hater Nation. I don't really agree with Hater Nation. I love Callie. I love Charlie Gold. I think that they're great personalities. But I truly feel bad for Amberlynn Reid and Foodie Beauty. Like, Amberlynn Reid right now is going through a breakup with Becky. She's monetizing the whole darn thing. Of course, they're doing live streams galore. And even though I truly think that Callie and Charlie, well, Charlie's kind of more cutthroat. I do respect her style of content though, and that's why I follow her content. But I do feel like even though Charlie and Callie may not have the intention of it being bullying of overweight women, it is that though. Because even if their reaction video or their video about Amberlynn Reid or Foodie Beauty isn't focusing on their weight, in the comments, it is all people talking about how overweight Amberlynn is or Foodie Beauty is, how they ate this, how they're doing this, their health that. And I always want to say, like, would you treat someone with addiction the same way, like a drug addiction or alcoholism, the same way that these two women are treated with an active ED, which are food addiction? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I know some people will say that, like, oh, they're the ones who put it out there, you know, this, that, and the other. Like, I've literally seen people, Foodie Beauty is going through, like, coming out about her having some kind of dependency or addiction to substances, and there's literally people mocking her about that. Mocking her. That is so disgusting. There are people that are mocking her for, you know, her breakups. And I'm not saying that Foodie Beauty or Amberlynn Reid are perfect. Chantel and Amber are not perfect. They have done a lot of trolling. They have, you know, Chantel has had a lot of racist things that she said. But I just feel like it's kind of like with Eugenie Cooney, Miss Ashy Cat, that kind of thing, Chicken Wing. How many videos are you going to make before you get your point across? It's always the same stuff that's being said pretty much in every reaction channel. It's the same cycles and hundreds of videos, and it's not making a difference to these women. that next video you make isn't going to make that much more of a difference, right? I don't really like the term rock bottom, and maybe I can make a video about why I don't like that term one day, but I'm not going to get into that right now because it's kind of long and long-winded, and we know I can be long-winded, and we've already been here a while. But I always say you can't bully someone, corner someone, or force someone into getting help, into fixing their behavior. Or if you like the term rock bottom, you can't force, bully, or push someone into their rock bottom. You can stop enabling. But with that being said, when you're making videos constantly about Amber and Chantel, all you're doing is that cycle, right? You're bringing them attention. If you didn't talk about them, would people even really be caring? No. And it's kind of like with Miss Ashy Cat, the same thing. People love to hate watch, right? They love to pick apart and like know every little detail about these women, and it's very cringe to me. It's again, like I was saying about Miss Ashy Cat, it's a stranger on the internet, and we're gonna get into this whole thing as well with somebody else I'm gonna talk about. We might as well just go into it. Without a Crystal Ball, same thing. People love to hate watch Without a Crystal Ball, and the Without a Crystal Ball community, anti-community, has turned so toxic. And I know some people will say that I'm biased because I've had private discussions with her, you know, and I've stuck up for her in certain instances before, but I've also been very critical of her. I don't agree with a lot of the things that she has done and said. I think she's been very impulsive with some of the things she has said. I think that sometimes her ego gets the best of her. I think that she really does put herself before other people, and she's willing to throw any frickin' buddy under the bus if it makes her come out looking like the saint. But with that being said, I don't agree with a lot of the things that people have done. I don't agree with people mom shaming her. I don't agree with people calling CPS on her. I don't agree with people doing welfare checks on her. I don't agree with people picking apart her looks or leaving her threats. I don't agree with people analyzing every little thing about her. Like, people archive every tweet, every video. I mean, it is mind-blowing to me. And people think it's so funny that she is going through all of these lawsuits. How is that funny? She has a child that is medically fragile at home, and y'all think this is hilarious because you just don't like someone? Make it make sense. I will say the one thing I admire, which I admire but kind of feel bad for when it comes to Without a Crystal Ball, is the fact that she stands her ground. Like, she's kind of like, I am who I am. It is what it is. Yes, she lies sometimes, I think, or she just doesn't think about what she said, or she forgets what she says. But she doubles down on her stuff, which is a fault, but is also like kind of brave, really, when everyone doesn't like you, right? You know, I feel like a lot of people made whole careers off of hating her and like making hate channels off of her and things of that nature. Kudos to you. But what I always say to people that constantly make the same content about the same people over and over and over again, people stop coming for you. They're not coming for you anymore. They're coming because they hate that person so much that they want the dirt. They want the dirt, they want the juice, they want the tea. I hate that. That's why they're coming. They're not coming for you. They could care less about you, because if you go to make content about something else when your channel is majorly, you know, Amberlynn Reed or Foodie Beauty or Ashy Cat or Without a Crystal Ball or Onion, people, they're like, me, right? Because it's not about you. You're making your whole channel about them, right? You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I mean, I guess it's kind of the same way for any commentary channel, but I just never understood why people like get so obsessed with strangers. especially if you don't like them. Like most of the people that I've made videos about, I was a fan of theirs at some point, and I was just like, wow, like this is problematic behavior. I want to talk about it. And problematic behavior in my eyes, not necessarily to everybody's eyes, right? Because we all have different opinions. And at the end of the day, like, we can't change people's perspective of us, right? And I feel like Without a Crystal Ball is kind of like, I know people are going to think the way that they're going to think. It is what it is. I'm just going to do me and F the haters, right? But I don't think it's funny. Like, people think it's funny with the Todd Chrisley, is that his name? I never knew who that man was until it was announced he was suing Without a Crystal Ball. Everyone says that man has so much clout. I think Without a Crystal Ball had more clout than he did, because I had no idea who that man was. Did you know who it was? I didn't know who that was. They think it's so funny that he's suing her. He's just as bad. Have you done a quick Google search on that man? Have you? And then like the Tati lawsuit, I always thought Tati was suing Without a Crystal Ball because she wanted the dirt. She wanted the Clark Swanson dirt, and she wanted the lawsuit that Clark had against her swept under the rug. And you know what? That's exactly what happened. And it also goes back to the web. The web that I always talk about. Everybody is friends with everybody, right? So Nick Snyder, Dustin Daly, they hate Without a Crystal Ball, okay? They're friends with Trisha Paytas and Tati behind the scenes, and so-and-so and so-and-so. And then it goes up the ladder, up the ladder, up the ladder, right? And I say friends. Friends is a loose term, right? They're like, they talk. But at the end of the day, everybody is friends with everybody. And when they have a target of someone they want to bring down, they all bond together, and it's like a thing behind the scenes or whatever. And all of them can try it and tell y'all all day long that they don't talk behind the scenes. This isn't biased, blase, blase. Everyone's biased at some point. And honestly, I have seen tweets from some of these drama channels talking about how they talk to Tati, or how they talk to so-and-so who talks to Tati when the Without a Crystal Ball shit was going on and all that jazz. They probably deleted them. I ain't got the screenshots. That's just my opinion, allegedly. Conspiracy. Isn't that what Rich Lux says? I haven't watched Rich Lux in so long. I really don't watch that many tea channels anymore. I watch Petty Page, and that is it. Petty Page is the only one I watch now, because her content is actually informative, is well researched. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent now. All right, the last one I have on my list is fashion channels, or like haul channels, specifically haul channels, really beauty channels even, because I feel like the beauty channels are just one marketing tactic trying to push consumerism on you. But that's all I'll say about beauty channels. I need to make a whole, actually I have made a rant video on beauty channels before. Maybe I'll remember to link that. But haul channels specifically, and I used to be guilty of this as well because I didn't do my research. I wasn't informed about these types of things, whereas now I'm a more conscious consumer. Now, I understand it's definitely a privilege to be able to spend good money on good clothing, to be able to shop upcycled or handmade clothing, but thrifting, anybody can do that, even if you don't have a lot of money, honey. But I will say, again, it's a privilege to thrift because not everywhere has thrift stores. I live in an area where we have one tiny, tiny, tiny thrift store. It's not the best. It's mainly elderly clothes and baby clothes. But, you know, it does its dang thing. It helps the community, what have you. So this is a privilege, right? To be able to do these things. So fast fashion is a thing. It helps a lot of people who maybe can't afford alternative options. But when you are a YouTuber with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and you are, or a TikToker, influencer, what have you, and you are spending thousands of dollars on Shein hauls or Forever 21 hauls, you don't like half this stuff, and your excuse is, I'm just gonna donate it. I'm just gonna donate whatever I don't like. Okay, that's great that you're going to donate it, but at the same token, a lot of the stuff that gets donated ends up in textile waste anyways because it doesn't sell. So then what do? They shove it into one of those compartments, they ship it on a boat, and they send it to another country where it just lays there to rot, basically, and just creates waste for that country. It's kind of like makeup with the whole mica industry, with the child labor. That's a whole other tangent as well. because I'm guilty of that, right? So it's just more being like a conscious consumer, I guess. But anyways, haul channels, right? I can think of one specific haul channel. I don't really want to call them out because I actually do thoroughly like their personality. I used to watch a lot of their content, but Pretty Pastel Please, again, I think she's a wonderful, wonderful little human. But she, in my opinion, buys excessive amounts of clothing and just stuff in general from Wish, these Wish hauls. And there's other YouTubers that do this and influencers and TikTokers that do this. She's just one that when I think of excessive hauls for no darn reason, she comes to mind for me. And I understand that some of these YouTubers obviously get sponsored or what have you. That's great. That's dandy, whatever. Do a ThredUp sponsorship, okay? Give back to the cause, right? I'm just being bitter. I can't say I've never shopped at Shein. I have a Shein haul on my channel from when I first started YouTube because, again, I didn't know any better. I've shopped at Forever 21. I have a Forever 21 haul on my channel, right? It's just this excessive amount of clothing you don't need. And the thrift store may not be able to sell all that to somebody, okay? Or you may donate it, but nobody wants it, right? Or especially like some of these garments people buy, which buy what you want, okay? But I'm sure that the thrift store down the street doesn't need dresses that, you know, have the nips carved out, or like, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Which, again, I'm not trying to shame anybody for what they wear. I'm just saying that those types of clothing aren't for everybody, right? So I don't think grandma's gonna want to wear a halter top and a mini skirt, right? Or like a leather jumpsuit or whatever, you know? I'm like being a little dramatic, but you know what I mean, Jelly Bean, right? So it's these excessive haul videos, and it just like, it gives an unrealistic view of, oh, it's really cheap, which I hate that, or it's really affordable, so let's waste $1,000 because if it doesn't work out, well, it was super inexpensive, so it doesn't matter, right? And yes, hauls are fun to watch. I used to love watching them. I don't watch them anymore though, because I realized that it made me shop more when I struggle with bad shopping habits as it is. Much like why I don't watch a lot of beauty content anymore. But it made me consume more items that I didn't need. It promotes unhealthy spending habits to younger audiences and just people in general, especially if people are struggling with some kind of bad shopping habit, right? And it contributes to waste in general. Like, how are you in one breath going to say you're all for the environment, but then you just spent $5,000 on Wish for no reason? It's not because you didn't have enough money or you couldn't afford to buy better pieces or to buy from a small business that makes clothes. Like this, I will link the lady that made this top. It's all organic cotton, hand sewed, hand dyed. Like, you could be buying from people like this, a mom who started a small business using good quality fabrics and dyes that don't harm the environment. Use your platform to spread the message and to promote healthy shopping habits. But, and it's another thing too, if they were buying these pieces to show their audience, like, hey, this is a really good style that so-and-so has, like Stella. She is a YouTuber who does fashion hauls, and I love her fashion hauls because they're not excessive amounts of clothing all at once. It's like a couple $100, she's buying some cute outfits and all that jazz, and it's kind of like what's new in this store or that store, and she's showing her audience like, hey, yes, this works on a plus size girl, or no, this does not work for my apple bottom shape, right? That's why I love Stella's channel. And there's other fashion channels that are like that, It's the ones where it's like these excessive amounts of clothing or just stuff in general that you just don't need. The unboxings, the hauls, and again, I was once sucked into it as well, so I know how it is. But there's no darn way that all these people are using all this stuff. There's just no way. Or they're returning it all, which is also weird in my opinion, but that is what it is. I think I've ranted for enough. This was supposed to be one of my short form content videos, and I think it still ended up being a long form content video. But let me know if you guys like these types of videos, because I really want to start doing more of them. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little hesitant to speak my opinion on certain matters just because it doesn't go with the grain, it doesn't go with the crowd. And, you know, I feel like a lot of us feel that way sometimes because we don't want to be harassed, we don't want to be targeted. And sometimes it's good to just have your own opinion, to have critical thinking, to think of how things don't add up, to realize behaviors or red flags that you're not okay with as somebody, as a viewer watching somebody, right? And that's okay. And it's okay to also not agree with some people or creators, but still accept that about them, right? Like, I accept that Social Repose is not very good with relationships and that he's a cheater, okay? I accept that, but I still like his content. I still watch his content. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So, yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna end this video. Let me know down below your favorite. Let me know down below if you agreed with me on any of these things, if you disagreed with me, and why. Also, if you made it this far, leave me the devil emoji, because I just feel like with all the people we talked about today and just things we talked about today, it deserves the devil emoji. Don't you think so? And leave me down below as well some of your unpopular opinions, because I would love to hear them. Or if you want to know my opinions on anything else, you can also leave those down below and I will answer you and let you know how I feel. Okay? Okay. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, or you can give it a thumbs down. It's all gravy, baby. At the end of the day, it's all engagement. And don't forget, if you like my vibe, don't forget to subscribe and join the Jelly Bean tribe. And I really hope to see y'all on the next one. Bye, Jelly Beans. Bye. Woo, I look so cute. Woo, I look so cute. I look so cute.